Excited to welcome romance novelist Mina Valentine. Mina, how are you? And we're going to talk today about book three a little bit. Well, book two's not out, but you've already written five books and are looking to write six more.
That's right. Actually, I think I've written six books and I'm ready to write about six or seven more. I
All
have
right.
them all outlined. I have every one of those outlined. I have to finish and then start and then finish and then start and then am I making any sense at all?
You make complete sense. So let's kind of jump into book three.
Okay. Well, John Herbert is one of the four horsemen. He's very stoic, kind of like Martin, but he's very smart. He has been the person that has invested all the money and made all these four horsemen worth a ton of money out of his ingenuity, his creative um, thoughts, and his ability to see upcoming things like the railroad. He didn't say let's invest in the trains. He said let's invest in the metal to lay the tracks, which was pretty smart because at the time there must have been like 30 different railroad companies, but there's only one that owns the track, and that's all metal. So he was really smart. He he was they're all good looking, of course. They're good looking. It's a romance novel, they have to be good looking. But um when in book two, Fred goes and finds this man's daughter, and the daughter had been writing letters to her father, but the father never got any of the letters. So they got a hold of them. They were reading them, and John fell in love with her by reading her letters to her father. Whether he had never seen her before, but he loved because of the letters. And then when he saw her, I mean, she was gorgeous. She was beautiful, but she's very infantile in a lot of ways because she grew up in a very small girls' school with only one or two instructors. She was isolated in a little village. They didn't go anywhere. She never had anybody come to take her for any of the holidays. And so she's naive, gullible, and a little bit tentative about certain things, but he loves her. He's just crazy. And he has trouble. He has some problems that interfere, and he decides she'd be better off without him. And so he he can't tell her goodbye because if he does that, he won't leave. So he just leaves. And and he owns a lot of property, and so he goes out and he stays there. And so it's this what happens between them that gets them back together.
Oh, okay. And
Yes.
so, and what do you think of this horseman versus the other two?
He, um, he is he's not afraid to do anything if he feels right about it. He's the one. Well, it's book two, so I can't really tell you, but he'll do what is necessary. And if he's threatened, he doesn't mind shooting them, stabbing them.
So, what
And
man does he remind you of?
um
Because you're writing these men, there has to be men you've dated or know of, or their characters in movies or something based on each character.
this he's a little bit like he's kind of like a Clint Eastwood. He's kind of like a Mel Gibson in those early days. Clint Eastwood was the type or played the roles where he worked for justice, not necessarily legal, but fair. And that's kind of the way John is. He doesn't necessarily care about the law. He's a marquis, so that kind of protects him. But if you've done him wrong or you've done someone that he loves wrong, if he has to fight you, he will. He's not going to try to talk you out of it, or and he has. There's a murder in this story as well.
Okay, and you have to read book 2 to find out if there is a murder in 3, and then and the person that was murdered in book 2 will not be in book 3.
No, it won't. A different murder.
It's not not an apparition.
No, no. They are all standalone books, but they make more sense if you read them all
together. Got it.
Yeah, it's like any other series. There's most all the romance writers and detective novels, they write things in a series. So it's probably going to end up being a 5 or 6 series in this Four Horsemen.
All right. The best place people can go is minavalentine.com right now. Purchase your books. And book 2 coming soon to a theater near you. People need to subscribe to your email list and then and get ready for book 2 and tell people that have read book 1 to write a review. Appreciate it, right. Mina.
If you go to my website and sign up for my newsletter, I can send you, when the book 2 comes out, I can send you a newsletter with a little gift of something if you get on the email list.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks again, Mina. You're
Thank
listening
you.
and watching the